I'm playing an expert, and this is where the game gets dangerous. We came out of a Caro-Kann, and forget the opening. Look at this position. What would you play? By the way, this is a tournament game that I played about 20 years ago.
And he played a Caro-Kann, and I just played against it. And black was attacking on this side, and as black attacks on this side, white is attacking on this side. So it's in a circular motion, and you can see white's efforts coming this way. You can see black's efforts coming that way. Black is winning by 1 pawn, but there's also a double sacrifice that takes place in here, but not immediately. But the next move for white was queen to e1, and then, queen to e3, and then black played h6, which is a mistake. There's an old saying, push a pawn, create a weakness, but this helps for the first sacrifice. So the next move is knight to f6, so that the queen can take here. So if the pawn takes, then the queen will take here with this bishop right here, and white is already in black's camp. So he didn't take that. In fact, so what he did, rook to a7, and then knight takes bishop, and then rook takes knight on d7. f6, the rook is on the open file, and so is the king. Can't go wrong with an attack there. Pawn to f6, and then to move the knight out of the way to act like he has something. Next move is f takes e with check. The king captures. Bishop to f6 check. White is inside of black's camp. So the bishop says check, and then the king moves to h7. Next move is rook at a to f, right? Vertical rooks are attacking, horizontal rooks are defending. And then queen to c7. The queen needs to come back to help to defend the king. And then h4, threatening the bishop protects. So there's all kinds of possibilities here, and all types of opportunities. You got to keep pushing forward. And then rook takes a2. Maybe this isn't the time to steal pawns, wood chop. Maybe it is. We'll have to see how it works out. Rook takes a2, h5 to threaten the knight, and then the knight goes to f4. So in this situation, white sacrificed that knight, but he didn't take the knight. And now in this situation, but white is going to say, okay, if you take me, then black says, all right, I'll take you, and then you capture back with the rook. Don't capture with the queen. If the queen takes, rook takes, then rook takes, check. Got to protect this, but you capture this way. So it's a really good game, and 2 rooks for black against 1 rook. So it's a really good game, but the key is that all of white's pieces are focusing on black's king, and the dark square bishop is very strong, plus the rook is very strong, and he protects him, he protects him, he protects him, he protects him, he protects him. Everything's protected, so it's going to be tough for black here. Next move is rook to f7, and then this is the absolute beauty of a move, I think, to consolidate these pieces in the center of the board, still controlling these squares. There's an attack there, but at the same time that attack, and I love posted pieces in the endgame, so that's going to be a strength right there for white for a long time. So bishop to f4, or bishop to e5, and then queen to d7. Queen to d7, king to g3 to defend, but also to get away from this check. And here I think that that black ran into trouble because he's going after a pawn here, but he doesn't really have time. It would probably be better to move over here to come back and then hope to advance that. But instead, what's he going to do? Take that pawn. So he took his piece out of the game. Now this guy is an expert player, so I have a lot of respect for him, but the pressure was definitely on him. So here's another sack right here. Knight takes e4, and then rook takes rook, and queen takes f4, and then pawn takes the knight. The queen takes the pawn with check. King moves to g8, and then queen to g6 check. So you don't give him a break. You stay on top of him and control all of his moves. King to f8, and then bishop to f6 check. You are attacking even though you don't need it. And then he moved his queen to e7, and then I moved queen to e6 to double attack the piece that's pinned. Once you have a good pin, you put pressure on it and double attack it. You put him in check, and then the king moved to g8, and then queen captures, and he resigned right there. So it was a very, very good game, I think. I think it was good strategically. There was a sacrifice here. Then there was the knight sacrifice separating those very strong pawns. White was down one pawn the whole game, but black was spending his moves on the queen side while white was advancing on the king side. So white was controlling the tempo in the beginning as it was a Caro-Kann game. So I'm hoping you enjoyed that. I just felt like analyzing that game. I appreciate who he is, and I enjoyed playing him. So God bless you. Don't forget, at forkedking.com we have free things for you. forkedking.com/free are free resources for you, and more to come.